just want to say what's up to you guys. How you guys doing? How's everything?
I'm still maintaining. I might have had chest pains last night.
Okay.
Watching that market go like that, holy moly, that was freaking horrific.
Well, we every single time that AG Project has had a lottery, we've had a black swan event. Like
Really?
Let me share this Nostradamus stream with you guys real quick. It is uncanny, and as Frank Polancic said, it is synchronistic how this chart has developed over time. So let me make this full screen so you guys can see it.
Let me get it up.
But basically, like I said, we launched. Let's see, how many days ago was that? Let me measure this real quick. We launched, 95 days ago. So we're less than 100 days old, and we just barely finished our last lottery on the second journey. So every cow that you see on this very highly technical chart is a journey where you can mint the fuel cells. You get 11 days to mint the fuel cells, and then every 11 days afterwards, there's a lottery payout. And on the last lottery payout, there's also a treasury payout. So not only does your NFT a lottery ticket, it's also a piggy bank, if you want to think about it like that. But as you can see, every lottery payout, we had Ulti, we had the Market Well, we had Tires.pump, we had the OA taking away the yield. I mean, and then yesterday, the entire market decided to just completely set a fire right here. And this morning was the first morning you could mint for J3. So J3's up here. I don't know where to put the cow yet, but I think we can safely move this teddy bear face right up to there.
No, I mean, I first and foremost, I just want to say I'm glad people are still building. I mean, since I've been in crypto in 2017, I have never been this. In 2017 and 2021, it was actually a lot easier to traverse the landscape. Now, with millions upon millions of different cryptocurrencies and copies of cryptocurrencies that exist, it's just been an honest nightmare, especially now with this trade war, all this bullish and all this bullish news that's canceling out the bearish news. I mean, SEC dropping cases. I think there was 3 cases that were dropped in the last week and a half, and it's like nothing is causing any sustainable uptrend. And it really begs the question, are tariffs really that big of a deal to the extent that this market is not going to move? And I don't think it's just tariffs. I think it's the consumer debt's at an all-time high. So no one's going to – right now, people are more focused on paying off the debt than their own personal debt rather than, buying. I don't know. I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts.
So you're thinking TradFi is bringing the market down?
I do. I absolutely do.
Yeah. I don't disagree with that. I have tinfoil hat things that I talk about on crazy streams that go for 2.5 hours. I think you're probably right there.
Yeah.
Do you guys think there's any fear? Because the Ethereum always seems to make this be the leader in the red candle scenarios, right? Do you guys think that there are existing fears for the 1.4 billion worth of ETH being sold? Do you think that might be affecting that at all?
Almost like an EHEX scenario,
Logically, you would think so. However, you'd think that red candle would have come days ago.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Announced, right? Like it's like the market almost didn't react to like the biggest crypto hack in history. So, I feel like that is not the catalyst for this. I think when we look at Ethereum in particular right now and the prices, like Ethereum is kind of leverage on Bitcoin in a way, right? Like if Bitcoin goes down 3%, Ethereum goes down 10%, and then all other altcoins go down 15% or 20% or more. That's the way it has been, and it still kind of looks that way to me.
Yep.
Yeah. I think we're still echoing problems with the big steep that came down. I once heard a conspiracy theory that the banks and governments saw a huge recession coming, and they pulled the C card. That I'm not going to say it on your stream, but you know what I'm talking about. They pulled that card to basically blame everything on the situation instead of the fact that they've been running the economy into the ground repeatedly for since 1913.
Yeah.
You know, and so I think that they're going to have to kick out that check of $1,000, $5,000 just to keep people from, hitting bankruptcy at this point.
Yeah, it's that severe, and it's sad because there was all this expectation that this market was going to skyrocket because Trump was going to be in office. We all thought that having a pro crypto president was going to work itself out and basically create a model where the markets could thrive. And then, like, with all of this meme coin craze that happened, I feel like also diluted the market, where we're in this like quasi no man's land where we're kind of in a bull, but most of the market's in a bear. So it's almost like the actual economy. Like, the economy looks like it's doing well from a stock market standpoint, but then you look at the value of the dollar and it's shit. You look at inflation and it's shit. You look at the majority of I'm just using Americans as an example, Americans working 2 jobs just to get ahead. It's a facade, basically. So, but besides that, I want to talk about your project, Pulse Ray, and what's been going on. Enough depressing stuff for now. I can cry about that after stream. Tell me about what's going on with your project, brother.
I was going to say, speaking of turning shit into gold, let's talk about that. When I got back from Panama from the No Permissions conference, which, shout out to No Permissions, they're awesome. Mm-hmm. But when I got back, I had found out that Richard Hart had apparently been hacked because someone opened a casino with some of his wallets. And I was like, oh no, this is crazy. He's been hacked. The next day I found out he hadn't been hacked. And I was actually much more confused by the fact that he had actually jumped on this meme train. And so we actually have a whale that's in our community that we call Pink Mist Whale. And the reason we call him Pink Mist Whale is because he's a sniper, right? He's gone in and he's sniped 50,000 market buys the last time that we went down towards $12. And he's been providing liquidity. He put $400,000 of liquidity up against Hex. Like, if that's not a huge vote of confidence and a big gold star for the community, I don't know what is. So we're trying to figure out how to handle this whole tires.pump situation. And let me share the screen again real quick. So I didn't believe that you could actually create a coin with 3 clicks of your button, right? I thought to myself, it's got to be harder than that. It was definitely harder to create our token. So we actually launched and graduated this on stream right here. This graduated from Tires.pump. We call it the Pink Mist Whale token. And the only utility that this meme token has, and you can see there's actually the picture that goes with it on Pump.fun. You can see a sniper in the Hollywood Hills, right? But the only utility that this token has, period, is if you send 1 million of these tokens to the Pink Mist Whale address, which I believe is right here. It ends in 8090. We have that one also on our Telegram. But if you send the Pink Mist Whale 1 million of these tokens, as you can see, people are sending all sorts of stuff to this one. But every time you send 1 million Pink Mist Whale tokens, we give the Pink Mist Whale a J1 NFT, which you can't get anymore. And we send the sender a J1 NFT, and we also send the sender a dark token. Well, obviously, if something can be exploited in crypto, like look, this guy said 12 million right there. If something can be exploited in crypto, it's going to be. So people have been dumping the dark token, buying more Pink Mist Whale token, and sending them even more. Right now, he's got 51% of the supply. And as you can tell by the chart, people are like pricing themselves out of the premium. And so, speaking of, like I said, turning shit into gold, our community has really rallied behind this Pink Mist Whale character and been showing a lot of love and gratitude for him. And in the same time, they've been stacking up NFTs that fill up with dark matter, which is hard to get. And they also get dark matter. And then, of course, the Pink Mist Whale is just sitting on this. And I believe we will possibly see this price go for sale pretty soon. Because if there's one thing I know about Pink Mist Whale, he loves dark and he loves fuel cells.
So what's the cost of one dark in terms of pulse?
Right now, if you're to buy one dark off the market, you're looking at $17. And if you were to buy 1,000,000 of the pink mist well tokens, you would be paying $42 and some slippage. So you can tell how much people are valuing that J1 fuel cell, because J1s, like I said, you can't mint them anymore. We minted them months ago, and so it's almost like getting in a time machine and going back and getting the earlier T-share rate for you Hexicans. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get the best. Older pays better in our ecosystem. So this is our J1 fuel cell image right here, and that one splits 3% of the treasury every 45 days in perpetuity. So you're getting paid something that gets more and more scarce over time for every 45 days, basically forever. And you never have to end the stake. There's no penalties. You can just let that thing ride. Or like some people have done with their NFTs, you can actually sell it to someone who wants to let it continue to accumulate yield. So it's got quite a shelf life on these babies.
Cool. No, that's awesome, man. It seems like there's a I guess the word multifaceted would be the appropriate term. Like there's numerous things going on in this ecosystem right now.
Yeah, you got the book, you got the art. So people are getting paid in reward points for participating with the book and the art. They're also getting paid in dark. So the mystery box has been very, very generous, sending dark to everyone in the tiny community. I mean, I'd say we got about 100 diehard fans and 400 people total in the Telegram. We are a micro, almost like a Mighty Mouse kind of punch community, if you want to think about it that way. But there's also this evil address, right? So the evil address has an unfair advantage. He's a lot like the OA in Hex. He has an unfair advantage. He has a disproportionate amount of dark and fuel cells, and he is just hoarding everything he can off the market. And we've had the collectives, what we call the good guys. The collective has hacked the evil address, and you can actually take control of some of the evil address's functions on our website. So I should have just left this up. I'm going to share the screen again just to show you guys our website and where you can find this to see what's going on. But basically, if you go to agproject.io,
it's a nice website.
Yeah, thank you very much. You've got just under 11 days to mint the J3 fuel cells, and then they will no longer be available. So this is where you connect your wallet and you trade one for one dark for one fuel cell. But if you click on tools right here at the top, that's going to open the beta page, and the beta has 4 extra features. It has the lottery page, the treasury page, evil page, and the vaporized page. And so really quickly, lottery, we already have 17,000 dark that are coming up to be auctioned off or drawn in 21 days, almost 23 hours, right? So what happened was as you see, here's the treasury. There's about 250,000 of the dark matter have been minted into fuel cells. And so far the treasury has paid out 12,990 dark, and it has 177,500 dark, and this just accumulates and bloats over time. So every time you mint the fuel cells on this page, it pumps that money into the treasury and the lottery. So if you go over here to the evil address, this is what I was trying to get to. You can not only, I think people have already robbed the evil address blind, because the evil address was winning half of the lotteries. It continues to win half the lotteries. The difference is if you hit this scrape button, you can pay a small fee, and it's going to take the dark tokens away from the evil address and roll them into the next jackpot. So this jackpot right here that's set over 17 grand, it's normally only 1,000 or 2,000 in the first drawing. It's already at 17,000 now, which is just a silly amount of dark. And then, of course, if we go to vaporize, here we can see if you want to nuke yourself and shoot yourself in the foot, you can actually put them here, connect your wallet, and you can vaporize your fuel cells. And when you vaporize your fuel cells, you are basically taking all the dark out of that you've got from the treasury out. But this demo account right here has 8 fuel cells. So let me put all 8 fuel cells there. And instead of approving treasury and vaporizing, you never ever want to do this, folks. But just underneath there's a little button that says view selected fuel cells. And as you can see, I minted 3 of the Journey 3s this morning. They haven't been paid from the treasury because the journey's not over yet. But if you go down here, I have one I minted in Journey 2, and it's collected 0.04 dark. And then the 4 that I minted in Journey 1, they've all accumulated 0.07. So like I said, this treasury bloats over time and then exhausts over time. So every 45 days, every single fuel cell gets a piece of something that's very, very, very scarce. There's less than 1 million tokens right here.
So if you went back to that page real quick, buddy.
Oh yeah,
where it shows
the vaporized one.
Yeah. So
yes.
So if you subtract the J1 amount from the J2 amount, it's safe to say that the J1 furnished a 0.03 and J2 did 0.04. Do you think that's a continuing trend?
Yeah, actually it'll go up much, much faster because right now the treasury is bloating faster than it's depleting. So right now, all of these tokens, all the dark matter tokens minted from the evil address and everyone else, they're getting shoved into the treasury at a rate of 77%. So 77% was going in and 3% was coming out during the first journey. Then 77% went in and 5.7, if you add these two up, 3 plus 2.7, 5.7 got paid out. So in about 45 days, 77% again is going to go in. But now if we accumulate these, we're closer to 8 or 9% being paid out. So you can see over time, this adds up to 10% pretty quickly. And then it goes to 20 and all the way to 29%. So at the end of all the journeys, the treasury is going to be paying out 29%, which obviously it's going to be like a half-life of a atomic particle, right? It's going to eventually deplete its energy there.
So what's the difference between having a Journey 1 fuel cell and a Journey 3 fuel cell?
The Journey 1 fuel cell is going to get its portion of 3% from the treasury, and the Journey 3 fuel cell is going to split. All the ones minted are going to split 2.43%.
I see.
And there were 161,000 in the first journey and 121,000 minted in the second journey. And so we'll see if that trend continues. But basically, even though the treasury yield is going down, the people that you're competing with is also going down, including the evil address.
Is there any number on any of this, buddy, that shows how many fuel cells have been vaporized to date?
No, I don't think there is. That's a really good question. We did see about 10 fuel cells vaporized in the first journey, and I don't think we've seen any vaporized in the second yet, because people learned from burning touching a hot stove in the first journey. That was a rookie people just completely nuke themselves and they're out of the game. People thought you had to vaporize to get a better chance with the lottery. And there's a lot of trolls in Telegram and on Twitter that are like, hey, vaporize that stuff. And it's like, no, whatever you do, I don't think you should ever vaporize a fuel cell. And in the future, we hope to show you why that is with some stuff I can't get into right now. But anyways, that's that answer. Sorry, I'm answering 5 questions that aren't being asked at a time.
No, it's okay. No,
just
I appreciate
chasing
it.
butterflies over here.
No, because I wanted to see the update and the entirety of the projects. Yeah. I know I've had you on. I think about dark matter and the anti-gravity project I think 4 times now. So it's nice to see, or it's refreshing to see that. I'm going to be totally honest with you. It's very difficult to build in a bear. I'm just going to call it what it is, an altcoin bear market. It's very difficult because right now We're in a no man's land. Nobody knows what's going on in the future. The sentiment, I've personally, I don't know, maybe about you guys, but for me, I've never seen sentiment this bad before. I didn't even feel, personally for me, I didn't feel this bad during the FTX collapse. Like, because you're just like, there's no certainty going on right now, but there is a refreshing sentiment. Oh my God, that scared the crap out of me.
Weirdo.
I was like, what, did I just, yeah. No, but it's nice to see how developers like all of you guys. I mean, Two Fox, excuse me, Steakhouse, Anti-Gravity Project. You guys are all building projects that are weathering the storm, and that's not easy. That is not easy to do. Yeah. I don't envy your guys' position by any means.
Yeah, and we got to give a shout out to No Permission, Solid X Gelato. The stuff that I saw on napkins and on cell phones in Panama would blow your mind. We are building more cool shit than the rest of crypto combined. I'm sure of it.
The thing that helps is that everybody knows. Most people know I don't drink, and I have a support group that I go to that helps me with that. Right? I consider No Permissions and small groups of friends that I have in this support groups, because there are days when you want to say, I don't want to freaking build no more. This is not making any money.
Yep.
This DApp is not going to make enough money to pay for itself. Let alone put money in my pocket down the road, right?
Of course.
You have that feeling every so often, especially on these red candle moments. But I was chatting with Fast last night. It's important to remember, between that 65,000 all-time high and the last high and this last high, we're at 88 grand. And in between then, Bitcoin went to 16 Gs. Right? And if you looked on Grayscale's hit freaking Richard Hart's number 11K and pray, right? So to have Bitcoin be at 88,000 is no small feat. I would have been surprised if you told me a little while ago, before it started this last run, that Bitcoin was going to be $88,000. I don't know if I would have believed that, right? I don't think it would. Wouldn't think it would get that high.
I think I agree with you. I think what most people are disappointed in is, I think many of us are very, well, at least content with what we've seen with Bitcoin. I mean, hitting 100K, hitting 108K, that's great. I think what most people, and what I see with this sentiment, because what we've seen is that bull markets, when it comes to especially smart contract platforms, they follow most of the time they follow the trajectory of Ethereum, and Ethereum has not been performing well at all. And as a result of that, I'd say, I mean, this is just a speculative percentage, but around 80 to 90% of cryptocurrencies are performing horribly. Like, there are maybe, I don't know, from previous cycles, how many cryptocurrencies have hit their all-time high. From the last cycle, I think Solana has, and BNB and XRP. That's about it off the top of my head. I'm sure there's many others, but
I think XRP is a local high. It's been higher than this before, right?
I think it was, what was the high in 2017? It was like 3 something. It was in the mid threes. So, and it's just like nothing. I think a lot of people also are used to the 4-year cycle. I mean, last cycle, for example, you had the halvening in May, and then the bull run kicked off in late December 2020 and early January 2021. Now you have the happening in April of 2024, and now I'm just going to basically say we're basically in March. So now we're 11 months almost away from the halvening that happened last year, and there's no end to this altcoin downtrend. And yeah, there are anomalies out there. There are meme coins that have done well on Solana, and they're far and few between, but there are some that have done well. There are some that have done very well on Pulse Chain. It's just the main smart contract utility platforms, they're not performing well, and I think that's what'll And you can tell by sentiment that's what people we're hoping for.
Yeah, it looks like XRP hit $300 a coin back in January of 2018, and then it dropped. It did a little bump, and now it spiked up, tapped the same, just around 300. Now it's down to 200. So when it launched, before it screwed itself and XLM took over and started eating at it, it came off to a huge start. It explains why so many people were believers in XRP back in the day.
Oh, was he making a joke about the
I never
$300?
believed in XRP ever. I still don't believe in XRP.
Was he making a joke about the $300 XRP, or did it? Wait,
No, if you pull up the all-time chart of XRP, it launched and rocketed up to 300 at the very beginning. Then it crashed and did its own little bounce and all that stuff. So at the very beginning, it did that. But remember, XRP started in a den of lies. They've never ever stopped lying. They've been around since they've been around. It's like 6 years of just being like, oh, we're gonna partner with Citibank. We're gonna take over the Swiss system. We're partnering with McDonald's. I mean, even when they bought, was it MoneyGram or the other one? It was one of those payday, money transferring services. The stock of the company they bought went up, and XRP actually went down the day that they bought the money transfer service. So I've never seen the people from XRP tell the truth. And I mean, they just barely gave $1 million to Kamala Harris to dump right during the election. Like they're stuck in stupid, and I can't believe that they're not compromised, and I can't believe that Ethereum's not compromised. Like, you just don't make this many wrong moves in crypto. You don't do it unless there's something going on.
When we were in Panama, the spread of crypto really took hold with me, because I was talking to Walrus, right? And Walrus lives in El Salvador now, and he lives. It's pretty remote, right? He's in a city, but everything in El Salvador is pretty remote. They have coffee growers, gourmet coffee growers, right? And they move a van far enough from a vineyard or a coffee plantation to where they would still have Wi-Fi, and they all these little coffee plantations have Starlink, right? And their van still is able to get Wi-Fi from the main house or whatever, and they will take a fresh bean, show it to you, then they'll go roast it per cup, right? Then they'll show you the roasted beans, and they'll go grind it, and they'll make coffee right in front of you, and then you tap a Bitcoin Lightning freaking card and pay for it right at the van.
Wow.
In the middle of nowhere. Coffee plantations aren't near big ass cities, right?
No, of course.
That's like going through a wine tour in Napa Valley, but Napa Valley has the financial backing of vineyards that have been around for centuries, right? And are crushing it with wine and have billions of dollars, and they probably have fiber running to their vineyard, right? This is completely different. This is a freaking coffee grower in the middle of a freaking jungle, probably, that is processing Bitcoin Lightning payments for a custom brewed cup of coffee. And they have like wine tours just like that. I would be fucking so sketchy after a freaking coffee tour, because I would get a double at every freaking place I went. For the use case is there, and it's being exploited or not exploited, utilized in other places, right? I wish XRP had pulled off some of the deals they promised, right? Because now we see Bitcoin Lightning processing payments for cheap in the middle of a jungle.
Yeah. No, it's amazing what such a you talk about El Salvador going from basically one of the countries with the highest crime rates to, in 3-4 years time, to being one of the countries with the lowest crime rate. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I think it's Bukele. He is one of the best leaders, in my opinion, in the modern era right now. I really do believe that he is a fantastic leader. And I had this debate with my friend a lot about nation states adopting Bitcoin and what that means for, because I had this debate even when Trump was going to be elected, and right after, and he's like, the bull market's going to happen. You have no idea, Corey. Like, Bitcoin is going to be bought up by nations. I'm like, dude, they already have reserves for Bitcoin. They already have reserves in El Salvador. They have reserves in United States. Germany had Bitcoin that they sold it. To my knowledge, like, nation states are already involved. Like, that's not going to be a catalyst this time. And we would go back and forth. And he was really on the idea that Bitcoin and crypto were going to skyrocket because of, simply put, nation states getting involved. And now I'm just thankful that Bukele has stuck to his principles and didn't launch his own his token like many other countries have done over the last month and a half, per se.
That's another thing that should have been bullish for us, right? Is not having a government-backed stable coin, right?
Yep.
That's been taken off the map. That should have been bullish for this whole cycle. So there are other funky sources at play here. What's up, Randy? How you doing, bud? Nice to see you.
Oh, I don't see him in the chat. Maybe he's one of your guys' chats. What's up,
Randy?
Randy?
To Randy's mom as well.
Nice.
Oh, Randy. I'm not sure where he's not in my chat, I think. But what's going on, Randy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just sad because you look at what's happening in this market, and there's just so many things that are bullish and exciting, and it's just, I don't know if they've backfired. I don't know if it's just loss of public trust. I don't know if it's the consumer debt crisis. I really do believe that tariffs are playing a big role in this. I think tariffs are creating a precedent right now that people are not focused on risk-on assets right now because of the uncertainty of a trade war and American isolationism, especially in regards to a global economy. So, and especially going to a trade war basically with our northern neighbors and southern neighbors. I don't know how that's going to work out, but it's I guess it's only time will tell, unfortunately, because that's.
I don't think it's going to get that bad.
Good.
Like, Trump is, if he's nothing else, he's a good negotiator. I think all this tariff stuff is bullshit, and it's going to turn into a negotiation, and deals will be made, and business will continue.
I agree with that.
Yeah, it's all
Canada takes all the tariffs off of our milk and cheese products and stuff. I think we'll all be fine.
Yeah.
Here we go.
It's just a matter of how long will they last, because it seems like this tariff paradigm is something very different. Like, these black swan events that we've had in the past, BlockFi, FTX, Celsius, China banning Bitcoin for the 800th time. We became, I guess you could say, I don't want to say resistant, but they were more. I've never seen this market react so radically to a trade war before. I mean, trade wars happen all the time. Embargoes happen pretty consistently. Tariffs occur consistently. And it really begs the question, what else is going on inside the global psyche that's leading people to think that I don't want to say innocuous tariffs, because they're not innocuous, but tariffs that probably won't last for a long time. I'm speculating. I'm not a financial advisor, and nor am I well acquainted with foreign tariff policy. But I don't foresee it happening for a long time. I don't know why it would. It wouldn't be beneficial. So I don't know why the market is reacting so negatively to that news, and is retail just so exhausted from the constant rugs that have been perpetuated on numerous different chains? I don't know what it is. I don't know.
I don't think that the public is exhausted from rugs because they participate in them every freaking time, right?
That's fair.
So they just do. And if I had my tinfoil hat on, with the markets in general, I do think that there is a bunch of left of center C-level executives for our Fortune 500 companies that have supported other administrations in the past that do not want to add Wall Street as a win to a list of wins that Trump has already, right? So I think they're putting up roadblocks, and that's just me just thinking in a vacuum. I'm not looking in a chart. I'm not seeing who the big mover and shakers of who's selling big blocks and who's buying big blocks, right? It just seems to me that the climate is odd, and there should be no other reason but to win right now with all the things that are going on. Yet it's not happening at the rate that we would like to see.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I remember talking to numerous people about when we thought the bull market would end, and I remember talking to people saying that it would probably end around April and May, and at least in my opinion, it really hasn't even started yet, because with a bull market, at least what I've been used to in 2017 and 2021, it's near ubiquitous price increases.
Yeah.
Throughout the entire market. It's not just like one small narrative of maybe 50 to 100 tokens that are moving, that are small in market cap, that a majority of people are not invested in. I'm talking about like legitimate 30-40% moves on large smart contract platforms that or DEX exchanges and large decentralized applications, and we're not seeing that movement like we did in 2021 and 2017. I think one last thing that is causing this market to not move as fast, and I had this conversation as well with a friend, is dilution. In 2021, we had, I believe in 2021, it was around somewhere in the 5-figure amount of cryptocurrencies that exist. Now it's over like 3-4 million. So in 2021, you had let's just use these numbers just for argument's sake, $3 trillion, and you have to spread that across, let's say, 10,000 cryptocurrencies. Now you have $3 trillion that has to be spread across 3 million tokens that have copies of tokens that are multi-chain now that you really didn't see in 2021. So, I mean, it's also dilution. So I don't know. I really, really do hope that the second quarter, because it's hard to believe we're already almost in the second quarter of the year, is more refreshing, because I this crypto no man's land is, it's pretty wild, and you guys are all builders, so I can only imagine how it's affecting you guys.
Yeah, it's like,
now I don't feel anything.
At this point.
I was going to say, will the real Slim Shady please stand up? Like when you got like 6 hex, what's the real hex? It's like when Bitcoin's been forked 12 times. And I really wanted to point out something that I really like about Corey, your streams and your tweets. You got us running around in the forest, getting lost, chasing butterflies. And Corey's the guy that does the work to climb all the way up on top of the mountain and give us a much broader view of economics, a much broader view of crypto. Like the reason that he is connected to so many other communities besides Pulse Chain is because he does the work to reach outside of our echo chamber and get a really, really good perspective. And I just want to say thank you for sharing that with us. I don't think you get enough praise for that, Corey.
I thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. I really do. It's not easy, and you sometimes you have to like choose who you align with, and sometimes those alignments in the broader crypto sphere don't they come back to bite you. Not come back to bite you, but you realize that those people you thought you were close with weren't really close to you. I'm going to use a perfect example here. Ben Armstrong was close to him for years. Tried to talk to him and see how he was doing. After he left Pulse Chain to pursue other interests, he stopped talking to me for 6 months. And I started seeing what was going on, and I tried to reach out to him and see how he was doing, because I genuinely cared about how the guy was doing. And I thought the only way to contact him was basically to comment publicly, something that I said that I cared about. It wasn't, trying to get any praise or anything or accolades. It was because I cared about the guy, and he blocked me. So, I have no connection to Ben now, and it's like, all right, whatever. I guess the friendship lasted for what it did. I wish him the best, and, I hope everything works out for him. But it's hard, bro. When you start going in like this space,
It's like I said, you're up on the mountaintop, and sometimes it's lonely on the mountaintop by yourself. Like, I can see that. I don't know if you froze up or your camera froze up, but I just
he's
wanted to
just
say
shocked. Oh, he's disappeared.
It's our show now.
it's our show now. We got the links. We hold the keys.
I was gonna thank Corey the other day, like you did, buddy, but I completely forgot.
Yeah, he's a mensch. Like I said, he does the work that other people
He
are not
does,
willing
bud.
to
He
do.
does. He's in it all the time.
Yeah, and money, money follows community. Money is just a made up game or story that we tell ourselves. And the more people you can convince and get to join your game, join your community, that's what I would say when it comes to, the 6 hexes or the 7, the 7, all the copies of copies. You've really got to find where the community is, because the community is where the energy is.
That's exactly what it is.
And that will determine who the real Bitcoin is, who the real hex is, who the real whatever is. It's going to be people that find a community. And the other thing that Triplet Dad said in Panama, and I don't know if he knows this, really changed my life. He said, you're going to have to trust somebody. Nobody is good enough at coding, marketing, and blockchain to do it all. You're going to have to trust somebody. And when you find someone who's worthy of your trust, lean in. And I can see this community leaning in to you, Corey.
No, I appreciate that very much. I mean, I've been a roller coaster emotionally. There's no question about that. I mean, I've gone from extremely bullish and excited to bearish to praising Richard to being very antagonistic towards Richard's methods to lashing out. It's not been easy, because this has been a very uncertain space to navigate recently, and I appreciate that very much. And it's hard, because when you're trying to coordinate streams with, because I've had streams with, the founder of Phantom, the founder of, Charles Hutchinson, obviously, and many others, Da Vinci, Crypto
Your
Wendy.
friend Sami, you've had your friend Sami.
Yeah, I had him on twice. Yeah,
I try to catch him lurking in your community to get his attention.
He's great. Honestly, man, I don't know how he does it. I do not know how that man does it. Like, I am every hour of every day. I don't know how the man sleeps, but yeah, it is what it is. But all I can say is I'm trying, and hopefully in the end, this all works out for all our benefit. I do want to ask you guys one thing. Have you guys noticed that ever since, like, the government has basically now taken and TradeFi has amalgamated into DeFi, and the space has gotten a lot bigger, have you noticed that crypto really doesn't have any main characters anymore? Like, how can I explain this? Like,
yeah, Sony talks about that all the time. The main character, you don't want to be the main character.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Ever.
But it's
never.
like, a focal point for that, for that cycle is the guy who's the main character, right?
Yeah, no one's the main character.
Yeah, was maybe Michael Saylor.
Yeah, nowadays it's like
I remember we used to have John McAfee, right? We used to have Sam Bankman-Fried. Unfortunately, we have Roger Ver, and you see people like that. The good guys get targeted, and the bad guys get away with a lot of shit before they're taken down or put in their place. It's definitely a stacked deck.
I remember when
Roger Ver.
I remember when Superman had the power to move markets back in 2017. That's how small the market was, where one YouTuber with 100K subscribers could move the market of one token. 2021, you could still do that. Now unless you have like a cabal with you, and you don't have you have a small market cap, it's very hard to, have that type of capability. And I think for the broader sense, that's a good thing, because you don't want one dude tweeting one thing. Because I remember when different individuals would tweet one coin back in 2017, and it would go up 20% in 5 minutes. I remember that. Now it's like there are no main characters, and I think Sami got that from Andre Cronje, because he wrote it was either an article or an interview that he brought up that crypto loves basically changing main characters, getting rid of main characters, having new main characters, like that recycle. And you see that every cycle. Like, I don't know.
Love them or hate him, B Roots can move markets.
What's up?
B Roots can move markets. Whether you love it or hate that guy.
No, I like him.
Yeah, I like Beef Roots. I think he's funny, and I follow his plays all the time. Not in his group or anything, but I do follow him, and he's been spot on so many things, and he can move markets. So if he goes after a token, that thing's going up.
Yeah, no, he has that ability. It's a dime a dozen now who can actually do that, and that's why it's like main characters these days. They're not as I don't use the word prominence, but their capabilities have been siphoned because of the immense amount of user base, and amalgamated that with dilution of value with so many coins has changed. But
we used to have a character named Richard Hart.
Yeah, I don't know where
bumping around. We used to have him a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I wasn't. What'd you say?
Does he still work here?
I don't know.
Work here?
Dude,
Does he still work at the crypto store?
I love it.
Is this the president of crypto? I'd like to speak to the president of crypto.
I love it. I've been following OG Tangent's model where he literally I like Tangent does it a lot, and I find it funny. He'll retweet everything Richard says, and almost like he'll retweet it and say just stream, dude. And now I'll do it. I'll just retweet it and say just stream,
bro.
Just stream, bro. Yeah.
Why do you think he's not streaming though? Right? Like, what's the cause? I feel like it must be a legal imperative that's passed down from his lawyers that he shouldn't stream until at least the SEC thing goes away. I can't see it just being him being scared of the camera. He never came across as particularly shy to me.
I think.
Yeah. Right. It would be nice though for him to make clips, even if they're audio clips. That he was sending out just something to get the nuance, because text
like the Christmas one.
Yeah, the Christmas one, exactly. Like he came out with the Christmas one, he could still talk to us, and that would bring a lot of nuance, because I believe that if I had been at least listening to Richard's voice, definitely if I'd been watching him stream, I would have kind of like gotten the feeling, like the hint about pump.tires. I would have got the hint of a bunch of stuff that we're just not getting. Like back in the day, he used to drop these really subtle hints in like 3-hour streams, and that subtle hint would literally make you a millionaire if you caught it.
Yeah,
and there's just no subtlety, there's no nuance, and it's just really hard to rally around a leader when you don't have that connection.
Maybe we only get recorded streams on holidays now.
Yeah.
And he missed Valentine's Day, so probably our next one is Easter.
Yeah, it's like it's arbitrary ambiguity at this point, where it's like I don't understand what you're saying, and when you do say something like that, it's at random at best. And I the longest time I thought it was legal, I really did, but now I'm starting to really think that it's because that there's really nothing to vaunt about right now. Like the hex price that he talked about is not at a 10,000x anymore. It's 99% down. Pulse Chain and Pulse X, they're not performing well. And the broader market, Ethereum, is also not performing well. So there's not, I guess, see, I only know the Richard that's very ego driven. You know, I've seen the videos of his past where he was very passive and very what's the word? I guess you could say like
you think he's embarrassed.
I do. I think he's embarrassed. I do.
I think it's an ego too, simply because he made his bet on Ethereum doing what Ethereum used to do. I don't think he saw Solana and the meme coins coming.
Yeah.
I think your friend Sami called it, and I didn't even believe it when Sami called it. But we saw this huge amount of capital go around Ethereum into Solana, and it almost feels like tires.pump is like his way to get back at being wrong and like claiming something. And it seems like right now the most token is being defended a lot better than Hex and Pulse.
I think tires.pump was sheerly a utility to drive up volume on Pulse Chain, so we climb back up the board.
Yeah, well, it has utility that it burns Pulse. And think about this. What if there was a change to tires.pump, which nobody asked for, nobody sacrificed for, nobody is owed anything for? What if a portion of those meme coins went towards something like Ink or PulseX single-sided staking?
What's up, Toby One?
That would be a great.
I mentioned that in one
I
of
like the way you're leaving out
Max's polls the other day. He asked what you would like to see next for RH, right? And I said I would like to see a V3 Pulse X, because I'm tired of messing with all the other V3s, right? I'd like to have one home V3 that I don't have any that I'm not disgruntled about, right? In any way. And I would also like to see him fire up the single-sided staking.
Yes.
For Pulse X, and possibly use his OA position of most and all those other tokens that he created on pump.tires or tires.pump and use those as the party token that we played with on testnet, right? There was the Pulse X token, and you won a party token. That was supposed to be a third-party token that was either given to him by projects or stuff that he created himself, right? So there was supposed to be the party token was a placeholder for many tokens, not unlike how 2Fucks does it with his stuff, right? You're able to give 2Fucks a big bag of tokens, and he'll disperse them amongst things that have 30% worth of 2Fucks in the pool, right? It's very, very similar, just more.
Totally possible. 100% possible.
It would be badass, right?
Yep.
I'd like to see the DAO that PulseX was promised as well. I want to see that type of governing structure that would exist with PulseX. I think that the more utility, obviously, what we have seen, and this is not Pulse Chain exclusive, but in all chains, is that adding utility right now is not even causing the price to increase. But further utility would be a good thing when altcoins pump, whenever that may be. I really do believe that having a DAO for PulseX would be good, utilizing the token as a means to have some type of voting power in different initiatives.
Well, check this out. I looked into yesterday. I was digging into the ink code and talking to some devs and stuff like this, and I pulled up the MasterChef contract for ink, right? And it says, and I'll just read it. Note that it's ownable and the owner wields tremendous power. Referring to the contract. The ownership will be transferred to a governance smart contract once ink is sufficiently distributed, and the community can show it to govern itself. It says exactly that in the code of like the ink contract. So, and it's been there since day one. And I ran it through ChatGPT. Like I copy pasted the ink code into ChatGPT. So I didn't want to pay my devs to look at it. And it came back with, I said, like, what's this code for? I didn't give it any background. And it said, this is a governance token. Users can delegate voting power and participate in on-chain votes. It supports minting, burning, delegation, and is an ideal staking governance or DeFi reward system. So I think it could do more than it's doing right now.
That's badass. Good idea to do that.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't think of it sooner.
Mm-hmm.
Only time will tell. I really hope this limbo that we're in passes soon, because it's and I'm not even talking Pulse Chain only. I really am not. It's just been it's not been fun. Let's just put it that way. It's been rather exhausting, and I feel bad that we're in that quasi. I don't know. We're in that quasi bull bear. That's kind of like the American economy. But Toby Wan says, you guys think there is any correlation to the OA 30-day stakes ending in mid-March with possible knowledge of when the SEC case will be coming out? I don't know. I don't know,
but I've been following you, Toby Wan, and you had a 6 weeks thing, and I'm waiting for 6 weeks, buddy. If you knew what I knew in 6 weeks, you said that on Twitter. And so I'm waiting my 6 weeks, my friend.
Toby has secrets.
Yeah, and you were right, Corey, regarding the last bull, right? You could throw a chunk of money in a utility, and you would get a 2 or 3x, right? In a utility. If you pick the right meme, you can get a 100, 1,000x, right?
Yeah,
and that did not happen in this bear. Did not.
No, I agree.
Yeah,
not yet. I think there's a utility season coming, and a lot of other people think that too. People are sick of this meme coin crap. Like, we have guys killing themselves because of meme coins.
It's
There's all
horrible.
sorts of,
It's horrible.
rugs on meme coins, like very consistently. I think people are going to look for utility. And when the new people come in, particularly the people who are over 40, right?
Yes.
Like, I'm not talking some kid in university who's got $50. I'm talking a guy
I agree.
who looks at the crypto president and says, oh, I guess I should buy some crypto. What's he going to buy? He's going to buy a picture of a dog, or is he going to buy something that bears interest, or something that equates to interest, something that can be mined, right? Can be staked. Those, like that kind of utility appeals to, what in crypto we call boomers, which is funny because in crypto, boomers is anybody over 40, whereas in real life, I think boomers are like 60 or 70 or something.
1946 to 1964.
Yeah.
Those are baby.
Yeah, where are the people like going out and buying a big bag of Link, right? That used to be the play, right? I'm going to go buy a big ass bag of Link for no fucking reason.
Probably still the play.
Yeah.
Link was great. I remember, dude, even the 2017 cycle, like we had Bitcoins that turned into Ethos, that turned into Voyager, then Voyager went bankrupt, and now Ethos is starting up again. It was meant to be a universal wallet because back in 2017 we didn't have a universal wallet. We had Substratum that was, I forgot what that was, but it was a big time coin in 2017. You had QuantStamp, you had all these different cryptocurrencies that were a big thing. Like, and then 2021 you had Telcoin for telecom companies, which was really an interesting narrative. You had Hex that did very, very well. And then you had in 2021 was like a golden cycle in my opinion, because you had utilities doing well in the first part of 2021, and then you really had after that the meme coins doing well. Now it's just like only meme coins, and it's like what the fuck? When is this going to change?
Toby Wan says mid to late March. If you know, you know.
I hope so, dude. I hope so. I'm so like
strong arm, winky eye, strong arm. So he's flexing on us, giving us a wink.
Bro, I think he's thinking of the court case, probably, right? Like that's the, that could be the timeline where the judge is persuaded somehow to give her answer on the court case, which would be huge. And I feel good about it because just today I read a thing about the Uniswap case being dismissed. Earlier last week it was the OpenSea case. Like it's like they're kicking them, right out of the court very consistently now.
What were the three? It was Uniswap, OpenSea. What was the third one that they dropped?
OpenSea, Uniswap.
I can remember.
I don't remember.
It's not XRP. That was a while ago.
No,
you mean recently?
I don't remember.
Yeah, me neither.
So
utility season, I absolutely agree. In 2017, you could throw a dart at an alt and it would get you multiple X's. A select few alts will excel. Pulse Chain is excellently positioned. Toby Wan is in here to keep our spirits up.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it because it's been hard, dude. It's been hard. It really has been. So, I appreciate the sentiment here. I mean, it's nice to see that there are still people watching. There are still people here. The people who haven't given up because, and when this is all said and done, and I hope everyone makes it, don't ever let anybody tell you that you got fucking lucky. Dude, I got gray hairs at 30 because of this shit. Robinhood, that was it. Thank you. Robinhood was it. Thank you.
My hair's not that gray, but my whole chin, solid gray. Solid gray.
I got some right over here.
I have a little over here also.
But my hair migrated from my forehead to my chest and belly. So I don't know. I didn't sign up for that shit, but that's where I'm at. And I blame crypto 100% for that.
At least it didn't go to your butt. That would have been worse.
I'm not going to comment on that, but cheers to the hairy men out there.
Yeah, so Robinhood, Uniswap, and OpenSea, they all dropped.
Okay, Robinhood. Okay, that makes sense.
Thank you for saying that, Toby, because that was annoying that I couldn't figure that out. I would have been researching for hours. What? So Uniswap, OpenSea, Robinhood, and those are big cases. So
yeah, Robinhood was giant, right?
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, Robinhood was probably the biggest of those three.
Yeah.
So it kind of reminds me of when they changed the marijuana laws in a lot of states, people saw it coming and people just already, just went ahead and what was it Martin Luther King called it? Peaceful resistance. basically.
Oh, civil disobedience.
Civil disobedience.
Yeah.
They basically just went out and started opening dispensaries and getting things ready because they were like, it's just a matter of time till the laws change. And based on the court cases that have been dropped, based on the actions of Trump, based on the actions that he's done just in the SEC, to me, it just feels like that. We're like when California went from medical to recreational. You know what I mean? Where everyone's just like, it's crime season, right? Like that's what people have been calling it.
The other prime example of that is Uber.
But I would say freedom season, and may the best community win. Because after all the dust settles, it's just the communities that are going to be left.
Uber went out and created taxis all over the planet Earth, right? And said, F you to your medallion. We don't need no medallions. We got a nap. Right.
Yeah.
And we got 4 to 5 star ratings, and you can see a picture of your dude and what kind of car he's driving and his license plate, blah, 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 blah. We don't need your medallions. And then the price of medallions went through the floor, right? And Corey Costa's neck of the woods, that was big money, right? Big money was in medallions. Those were $200,000-300 grand.
What medallions you talking about?
You needed to have a medallion to run a taxi cab. So
really,
that medallion could be transferred back and forth between cabs, and sometimes I don't know all the intricacies of it. People would partner up on one medallion.
It'd be hundreds of thousands of dollars for a medallion.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars to run a cab. So that medallion in New York City would be delegated to a car. And you would have a group of 4 guys that split it up.
I did not know that. Wow.
It was a crazy situation. It was the main pushback of Uber was taxi drivers, medallion costs, and what they had to spend to get their position, and hell, we're broke.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was bad.
That was a little maybe before my time.
It was kind of like when you were a kid and you wanted to get a paper route, and you knew one older kid was going to give up his paper route. So you either became best friends with that kid or you bribed him because there was only so many paper routes, in your neighborhood or within walking distance of your house. So back then it was that and lawn mowing. There was like a little cabal, a little mobster ran kind of community ran among the kids of who's going to take over the lemonade stand, who's going to take over the paper route, who's going to mow Old Man Johnson's lawn.
To convert that story to Fast Abdoul, it's like kilometers and snowmobile miles. Yeah.
Who's going to shovel whose walk?
Shoveling is big business for kids here. Right? You can make you can make $200 a day shoveling walks if you're 15-year-old.
If we are at about an hour, you guys. So let's freaking let Pulse Ray talk about Journey 3 minting real quick at the end of this, just to wrap it up and give us a heads up on that, on how that's going about.
I have one question about the journeys and the fuel cells. So to participate in Journey 3, do you need to have a Journey 3 fuel cell, or does your Journey 1 or 2 fuel cell still allow you to participate?
Once the journey is over, you are always eligible for the treasury yield. Right. So I'm just sharing my screen again. I just like Corey to get up and down a lot.
You just like the elbow. All right.
But you're not eligible for the lottery, is that correct?
Yeah. You must mint in the current journey to be eligible for the current 3 lottery drawings. Okay. So the only fuel cells eligible for the lotteries in Journey 3 will be those minted newly in Journey 3 in the next 11 days. Now, like I said, Journey 1 were eligible for the lottery during Journey 1. But they're no longer eligible for these lotteries. They are, however, getting paid every 45 days from the treasury. So every NFT is a lottery ticket during its current journey, and then every NFT turns into a piggy bank afterwards. Does that make sense?
Yep. Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay, cool. And like I said, if you look at there's less than 1 million tokens here, and if you look at the top 5 addresses, there's 90% in the top 5 addresses. Three of them are smart contracts. One of them is the mystery box, and one is just a big whale that we haven't seen much out of yet. So, like I said, there's really only a few thousand on the market being put up as liquidity right now.
That percentage going up on the right-hand side, is that because of what happened last night?
Yeah. So this 52% right here from the evil address, 45,000 of these are going to move from the evil address into the treasury address, which is the second one, and into the jackpot address, which is the fifth one here. And then if you look at number 6, this one right here, this is Pink Mistwell sitting on 1.4%. He is the biggest holder of dark by far right here. So he's got that. So if you add up these, and a couple of these are ride or die whales that we've seen breaking up into groups and minting. If you add these up, we're pushing 93, 94%. And then if you scroll down the first page, you see liquidity pairs holding the rest on the front page. So these are all liquidity pairs right here. So once you get to the bottom of the first 50 addresses, you have somebody that owns 100. Oh, you don't even have somebody. You have 2 smart contracts at 140, 146, and the next quote unquote big holder has 147 tokens. There are way fewer dark matter tokens than you guys think there are. Way fewer. And if you go to Mintra and you click on the fuel cell here, let me click on fuel cell, boom. And then you click on the owners of the fuel cell. This is where all the money, all the value is going to move eventually. It's going to move into the owners of the fuel cells. So Randy Hilarski, like you have the evil address and the mystery box. Those two you're really not competing with because they don't get swag and they don't get prestige. They're just basically community, things. But you got Randy Hilarski with 13,800, and you get the Pink Mistwell on his heels with 9,000. So, and this one drops even faster than the amount of dark. Like you're down to double digits just after scrolling a little bit.
Right.
So fuel cells are the T-shares in our ecosystem. You can never have too many T-shares, and I believe you can never have too many fuel cells. So I just want to say that real quick. And then I wanted to get Fast Abdoul's information really quick. They're rolling out the ink printer, and ink is very closely.
What?
God.
Ink is very closely tied.
We're gonna use this brief hiatus to give a shout out to Susie Q. How you doing, Susie Q? I met her at a bunch of events. And Highest of Stakes premiere, took pictures of her in front of my cardboard cutouts of Richard Hart, which I think Fast Abdoul might be on our golf course again.
There he is.
There we go. Sorry about that. I was going to say that we could see some.
Dang.
You're muted, Fast Abdoul.
I was gonna say, I wish you'd finish the sentence before you'd disappear.
Okay. It's bad. Every time I try to get back out of sharing screen, a ghost runs through my system. But ink could very easily be seen getting sucked off the market as people use it for collateral with the ink printer. And ink has a ton of liquidity with Solid X, and Solid X has a lot of liquidity with Dark. So it's all connected, and we'll see Hart's Law happen for better and for worse with this group. But you don't have enough dark, and you don't have enough fuel cells. You just don't. You don't
have enough ink. Yeah, I'm with you.
There you go.
I want to mention quick before we go that I'm doing a contest for ink printer right now. All you have to do is join the contest is to join the Telegram room that I've just posted in the chat. First prize is $1,000 for the ink. Second prize, $500 for the ink tokens. The print token, which is the protocol token. And the third prize, which maybe should be the first prize, is a Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT from Pulse Market. One recently sold for 33 million Pulse and change. they're starting to be popular. So those are your choices. Join the Telegram room, and you'll be entered in the draw.
And Fast Abdoul's steak that he created last week has gone live.
Nice.
Yeah. On Steakhouse. Take a look.
Steakhouse, yeah.
Especially you, RH Max. I know you like hacks. You just joined us. Welcome. Please take a look at Steakhouse when you get a chance. Love to talk to you about it.
Yeah, that's good. And then Randy Hilarski in the audience, he has the DAT token coming out, which is it. As I understand it, it's a liquidity web of liquidity webs. Is that how you would describe it, Fast?
I've never heard of this. This is all new to me.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that either.
We're gonna have to do a whole show on this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll do a whole show on the DAT token and on the ink printer coming up. We will be streaming.
Corey, did we ever have Randy on?
We had. Good question. Good question. I don't know. I have to hold on. Let me go back. Let me see. We go to latest.
Did we have Randy on?
Let me see.
I've been on other streams.
Yes.
Randy.
Yes.
I see all you guys all the time.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah?
we
Okay.
had him on for the third one. This is the fifth one. Yes, we did
That's
have
awesome.
him on.
All
Yeah.
right.
So,
Wow.
but yeah, no,
Okay.
I'd love to have him on again and talk about what's going on with that token. I've never heard of that, so
Yeah.
I'm with it.
I don't know. Did you watch Living Color at all, Corey?
That name sounds very, very,
In
very.
Living Color. It was a sketch comedy show from the '90s with Jim Carrey in it.
Yeah,
Corey
I
might be too young.
Well,
I've
it
heard of
had a clown in there that used to say, "Homie, don't play that," and he would smack people with stuff, right? And "Homie, don't play that." So the DAT token is a "Homie, don't play DAT" token.
There you
And the
go.
clown was a famous person, right?
That would have been
Damon Williams, I think.
Yeah, that's him.
Keenan Waynes, I think.
Homie D Clown.
Yeah, Keenan Waynes.
Thanks for that, RH Max. We'll be having a community stream next week. Welcome to come on chat. Thank you, bud. Appreciate it.
Cool.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and Corey, thank you as always for being the consummate professional. He has the best questions. He prepares for streams, which is totally foreign to me. And like I said, he reaches an audience that we're not reaching as a community right now. So, take some notes from Corey and follow his example if we really want to branch this ecosystem out.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Thank you very much.
And I don't know if you noticed this, Pulse Ray. I saw beavers in your Telegram room, so I wore a beaver shirt.
Nice.
I've got my beaver onesie over there, my Bucky beaver onesie,
Yeah.
right next to the space outfit. Space suit.
Beavers are a Canadian symbol, to be sure.
That is
I
true.
approve.
Guys, I just want to say to you guys, make sure that everyone in the chat subscribe to everyone's channels that this is streaming on. Make sure to follow everyone whose channels this is streaming on, whether it's Twitter or if this is their own YouTube channels. Make sure to subscribe and follow Fast Abdoul, Triplet Dad, Pulse Ray Vision. Make sure to do all that. Thank you for all those who attended, and I'll see you guys in the next stream.
All right, bud.
Right,
Thank you.
you.
Thank you, everybody.
Yes.
You guys.